Newport County and Aldershot, two football clubs who were features in the classified check for many years back in the days when Tomo and Laurie were players in the 4th division, as it was then. Both clubs went bankrupt, but they're now reborn into thriving non-league sides, this year drawn together in the first round of the FA Trophy, and Jackie Levy went across the Severn Bridge to Newport for the big day.
The 3,500 capacity Spitty Park Stadium is the new home of Newport AFC. It's also the venue today for their first round FA Trophy game against old rivals Aldershot. They met 10 years ago in the FA Cup, Aldershot winning that encounter on the replay. But that's not all these two non-league sides have in common. These clubs have risen from the ashes of bankruptcy and are now striving to regain the league status they once enjoyed. Aldershot and Newport are on the up and up, of that there is no doubt. And if you come here expecting to see two men and a dog, well then you can think again. These fans are committed and this game is a sellout. Newport have gone through some tough times since they last played Aldershot. They were relegated to the Vauxhall Conference in 1988, but found themselves in the bankruptcy court before the season was out. Devastating news for fans like 78-year-old Reg Parsons, who had supported the club since 1934 and could remember better times.
Took part of my life away. That little spot there, I expect that's me. I used to stand on what they called the Bob Bank then. But you had a job to get a cigarette out of your pocket in those days because the crowds were so packed, as you can see there. 10, 15, 20,000.
The supporters founded a new club in June '89, and Newport have been working their way up the system of English non-league football ever since.
We're in the Beezer Homes League in the Midland Division. The next promotion will be to the Premier Division of the Beezer Homes, and then the GM Vauxhall Conference, where we hope to meet Aldershot quite soon, and then, of course, to the Football League. Newport
have spent 3 of the last 5 years in exile. The Welsh FA ruled that because Newport were a Welsh club playing in an English league, they couldn't play in Wales. Newport were banished first to Moreton-in-Marsh and then to Gloucester, but it didn't deter the faithful.
It was a 100-mile round trip, and they followed us in numbers, you know, 400 or so. But of course they're delighted to be back, and now we've got not hundreds but thousands following us here in this splendid stadium.
Although their dispute with the Welsh FA isn't resolved, Newport are back home, and the club are concentrating on one goal.
Let's get there one step at a time, one promotion at a time. We've achieved one promotion, and we're hoping to achieve another one this year.
Aldershot too have had their problems. When the club was wound up in the High Court in March '92 with reported debts of 1.2 million, like Newport, they started from scratch.
We've got 2 plans. We've got the 6-year plan to reach the Vauxhall Conference. 2 years of that plan's gone by. We're two leagues away from the conference, so technically we are 2 years in hand of the target. So we've got 2 years where we can probably hold ourselves and stand firm and not make any movement. So it's a 6-year plan Vauxhall Conference, 10-year plan Football League, and we're on target for both.
Newport and Aldershot have shared similar woes, but how much room would there be for sentimentality at the start of a cup campaign?
I think today is an emotional day, but on the other hand, I think football is an emotional subject anyway. And I got up again today with a buzz, and I get up with that same buzz every time our football club is playing a football match. Today is another milestone in the life of Aldershot Town Football Club. It's another chapter in the book.
Richard Walden, who's played for both clubs, was looking forward to seeing how some of his old Newport County teammates were shaping up.
I've just been speaking to Nigel Vaughan and Stevie Lowndes, who, when I was playing, were both fairly young lads coming into the side, but very, very good players, both of them, and I think they both went on to play for Wales. It'd be interesting to see how they perform today. Can't say that I thought I'd see this day, really, no. It was looking pretty bleak for both sides a couple of years ago, both having gone out of business. But great to see them both back in business and both playing quite well.
With the game underway, the Aldershot chairman, Terry Owens, conceded that this cup clash would be a tough call.
I think for the first time since we've been formed, Aldershot Town Football Club are the underdogs.
Newport drew first blood when Aldershot's Dave Osgood was penalised for handball in the box. The referee awarded a penalty, that duty falling to Newport captain Lyndon Jones. With 11.5 minutes on the clock, it was 1-0, to the delight of the home crowd. The celebrations were short-lived as the shots fought back. John Humphrey played it to David Bass. The number 8 kept his cool, nudged it to Osgood, who redeemed himself for conceding the penalty by putting the ball in the net for the equaliser. 2 minutes later, the shots were firing again. This time, a well-rehearsed set-piece coming off to give Osgood goal number 2. The visitors were more than happy with the 1-goal cushion at half-time, while Newport headed back to the dressing room for an impassioned team talk.
You know, they can play as well, mate. They're not a bad side. They're trying to play, aren't they? Yeah. You know, and give them credit for that.
We can do the same.
We got to do the nitty-gritty jobs, eh? When we lose the ball, we go men to mark. And that is goal side of it. Not behind her. So we chase and we're looking at the let's look at them faces.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Newport made an early second-half substitution, looking to the experience of ex-Welsh international Nigel Vaughan to turn things around. But Aldershot had no intention of letting their lead slip, and their third goal was a mixture of opportunism and luck. The shot was covered by Roberts, but the luckless keeper lost the ball, and Humphreys did the decent thing. As far as Newport were concerned, they were down but not out, and they came close to snatching one back. Mark Price flicking the ball on to Steve Lowndes, whose fierce drive had the keeper at full stretch. The game ended on a sour note for the Exiles, with frustration boiling over and Brendan Dowd being sent off for elbowing Steve Stairs, his second bookable offence. The final whistle marked a convincing win for Aldershot and a setback for Newport. But for both these sides, the real test will come in their respective leagues as they strive for promotion. This FA Trophy match was Newport's first loss in 17 outings, but manager Graham Rodgers was philosophical about the outcome.
They scored 3 goals. That's the simple fact of it, really. They took their chances and we didn't take ours.
The winning dressing room told a different story, with the manager happy to reflect on a job well done.
Newport are a good side. I was just talking to the manager after the game, and that's the first game they've lost since 17. We've had a reasonable start to the season. We've lost a couple. We haven't played particularly well all year yet, but that was probably our best performance of the season, especially going 1-0 down, which I thought was a iffy penalty, but it doesn't matter now. Yeah, I thought it was a wholesome performance. We defended very well, which we haven't been doing for several games now. We've been scoring goals, but we've been letting things in as well. I thought we were very strong defensively, and we broke out and looked very dangerous and could have perhaps had another couple of goals.
Aldershot came to Newport and conquered. It may not be Premier League football, but it was a good afternoon's entertainment, and the food here is as good as anything you'd get at Old Trafford.
Bread everywhere on this show today. Jackie Levy was there having a lunch on us. What a goal that was, Loro.
Excellent. Best free kick.
Candidate for goal of the season, we say.
Best free kick I've seen all season so far.
Talk us through this.
I'll try to.
Seriously,
Well, you just think the third man's going to hit it, don't you? It's just the one that comes over and... Oh, thank you very much. Even the sheep were watching in the background.
It's a good strike, because that lad's quite close to the ball, isn't he, Loro? You know,
yeah.
Fella striking the ball, he's not on a big backlift or anything, and it's fluid.
You know, the one thing about Aldershot is when they went out the league, everyone thought they'd be dead and buried, and since they've gone out, actually, it's been the revival, and I think I'm right in saying they actually make money now because they're part-time, because of the gates they get, and because of the success they've had.
Exactly. There's a very healthy thing going on, especially in that level of football now, and it's a lot of fun to go and watch a game, I have to tell you that.